yesterday, Do You Understand Them, which had topped the bestseller list for its focus on emotions, turned into a blank book for reasons unknown to us. This incident has sparked a lot of discussion among its fans.
I can't read or sleep now. Someone starts crying as soon as it's nighttime.
I was hoping to use this book to ask my crush out, but it's blank now. Can anyone help me?
The Hunters Association conducted a preliminary investigation and concluded this phenomenon was caused by a wanderer. We will follow up with updates.
After our investigation, we've confirmed who the culprit is, Heartbreaker. It got stronger for some reason. Accepting this mission, I followed the clues and arrived at a beach filled with couples. I'm trying to track it down. Yet as soon as my feet touch the sand, I hear something from a nearby group of people.
Love is destined to fail. Are you ready for your heart to wail?
I quickly draw my gun, but Heartbreaker runs into a sea of people. I can't fire recklessly. It's too crowded here.
No one can escape
Heartbreaker
love.
continues to mutter
Your
under its
agony
breath,
is my
casting
sustenance.
broken hearts to couples on the beach. Everyone, stay calm. Please leave in an orderly manner. On the beach, couples start moving. I take this chance to stand on the nearby rocks to help with evacuating. Heartbreaker pulls out a few love letters and starts to gather energy. Tightly gripping my gun, I'm about to pull the trigger when
There's not even a hint of love.
after picking up its love letters, Heartbreaker twirls and disappears. Cough, cough, it just disappeared like that? It said it couldn't sense any love. A moment passes and I realize something. Right, Heartbreaker targets couples. That's why it gave up. I guess catching this nuisance will require an extra pair of hands. I pull out my phone. My thumb hovers over my chats, and then Even though Heartbreaker disappeared, it left behind a faint energy trace. Using resonance, I follow it as I ride my 270 HM. And after passing several blocks, I realize I'm at Axo Hospital? Suddenly, Heartbreaker dashes past the front of my motorcycle. The Wanderer is targeting a couple who's celebrating their discharge from the hospital. It's about to attack them with a love letter. It's too late to tell the hospital to set up their defenses, and I can't use my gun when it's crowded. My mind is racing. Yet I soon see a familiar face walking out of the hospital. Zayne. Surprise lights up behind his glasses when he hears my voice. He spots me amidst the crowd. Heartbreaker is drawn to the strongest, nearby energy source. Which means, I get off my motorcycle and run to Zayne. I jump into his arms to tightly hug him. Somewhat bewildered by the random hug, Zayne still catches me.
Did something happen?
I don't respond. I press myself against Zayne's body and wrap my arms around his neck.
Are you all right?
Our intimate appearance works. Heartbreaker approaches us.
Whose heart is racing right now?
Oh, I was being used as bait.
Having fought so many wanderers with Zayne, I feel like dealing with Heartbreaker is a piece of cake. But just as I'm about to land the final blow, Heartbreaker stops moving.
I can smell it. A more delightful heart.
Before we can react, Heartbreaker releases a wave of love letters and disappears again. Zayne quickly raises his hand. An icicle pierces the last love letter that was flying towards me.
Did that wanderer somehow get stronger?
You noticed it as well? The association just released new intel. I show Zayne the latest info on Heartbreaker via my Hunter's Watch. For now, it only targets couples within a certain range, especially those who are very affectionate. It doesn't attack anyone else. I couldn't believe that even with Zayne's help, Heartbreaker escaped. Besides, there's another thing I can't comprehend. Why can't we lure in Heartbreaker with our relationship? Zayne is taken aback. Then he lowers his head and smiles.
Maybe wanderers have a different set of criteria for assessing a couple's intimacy.
Why are you defending it? But I will admit we haven't spent much time together since we've been busy lately. If we improve our relationship, maybe Heartbreaker will find us irresistible.
You speak with such conviction. Is it for dealing with Heartbreaker? Or is there another reason?
I recall everything that's happened since I reunited with Zayne. A plan comes to mind on how to take the next step with him. Zayne is very cooperative, yet he's also calm.
Do you know what to do now? You've been staring at me for a while.
Zayne, who's been typing away at his laptop while sitting on the sofa, raises his head with a hint of helplessness.
It's okay to take the next step, but there's no limit to intimacy. Besides, don't you think we're in a good spot at the moment?
I was just wondering what else we can do to improve our communication and understanding of each other. Zayne raises an eyebrow.
Do you need that much time to think of something?
You tell me, then. Is there anything you'd like to learn about me?
I might be interested in...
Zayne pauses, almost as if he's keeping me in suspense on purpose. He flicks my forehead.
the place where those innovative ideas of yours come from.
That's it?
Of course. Not.
In that case, tell me.
Well, I'd like to know more about what you want to know about me.
He deliberately makes his words sound like a riddle. After thinking for a moment, I push his laptop away and sit in its original location.
This suggests you want to discuss something important. Careful now. Don't fall.
Are you talking to me or the laptop?
A laptop can't understand what I'm saying.
Closing the laptop and setting it aside, he grasps my hand that's poking his chest.
What are you looking for?
I'm trying to uncover the secrets about you that I have yet to discover.
I see.
His warm hand slowly caresses me, moving from my arm to my shoulder.
Based on my experiences in the hospital, long-term partners can still discover something new about each other. After all, what people know about one another is as ever-changing as life itself.
The slightest touch sends shivers up and down my spine. His hand glides from my shoulder to my back. It rests on the small of my back and gently pushes me closer.
Therefore, there's uncharted territory for us to explore.
I understand the implications of his words. Taking this chance, I lean in and whisper into his ear. Does this mean we can try things we haven't done before?
I'd be happy to oblige.
Getting the answer I wanted, I feel giddy. I give him back his laptop. Keep up the good work, Dr. Zayne. Seeing Zayne's eyes filled to the brim with surprise, I kiss his ear and quickly move off his lap. After talking to Zayne about doing things we've never done together, the first thing I add to my list is...
This is what you had in mind. For a place that could stimulate the mind and be a workout.
After work, Zayne and I stand next to each other. We're in front of a newly opened escape room. To succeed in an escape room, you need the brain for puzzles and the stamina for running. It's also about how well we work together.
Maybe we should just stick to claw machines.
That's far away from here. And we're already at the escape room. I grab Zayne's arm and drag him inside. Don't worry, Zayne. I'll protect you. Don't underestimate a hunter.
And you should take care of yourself. Try not to accidentally hurt your teammate.
This escape room's theme is an abandoned medical school. It's dimly lit, filled with cobwebs and dried bloodstains. Walking down the narrow corridor, I gently push open an old door. In the room, there are white beds. Inside the jars and bottles are all sorts of things suspended in liquid. This must be the really popular dissection room.
Popular?
I mean, it's popular in horror stories. Trying to find a clue, I shine my flashlight on those bottles and jars. Even though I know it's not real, the strange colors and shapes still make me feel slightly nauseous.
Are you alright?
Zayne notices my discomfort and takes my hand.
They're fake and incredibly inaccurate. There's no need to be afraid.
Zayne lifts the flashlight. It shines on a glass bottle beside him.
For example, this is lifelike, but they got the species wrong. The label says it's a human heart, but actually it's a pig heart.
How can you tell?
Here the fat is white. Human fat is yellow.
Zayne is honest, as if he's giving a lecture. He turns the flashlight to the operating table in the corner.
As we passed by, I noticed it was missing several scalpels.
Zayne points the flashlight back to the pig heart.
What's important is that they're missing surgical scalpel blade number 11. It's used in heart surgeries.
That explains why you're so relaxed. Is this what it feels like to be soaked in knowledge? With the professional Zayne here, everything goes smoothly. But just when I think I can breeze through the puzzles, I fall short on the last one. An NPC appeared when we made a turn, and Zayne got captured. I genuinely thought I could just freeload off you and win. And that NPC was trying to lure us into a trap by calling out for help. I can't believe you fell for it.
A doctor must provide assistance when someone cries for help. That's why I didn't think too much about it and went ahead.
Slightly helpless, Zayne leads me out of the escape room. But you looked cute when you got caught.
Cute.
Yeah, that mix of astonishment, dismay, and regret. This is the first time they all appeared on your face. It was very poignant and adorable. So doesn't it count as getting to know you better? Zayne can't help but chuckle. He gently squeezes my hand.
Well, do you want to be compensated then, since we lost?
Of course. Let's schedule your next day off in advance. I promised Zayne that we'd make pottery together, but we never found the time. Since this is our chance, I refuse to let it slip away. Zayne, what should we make?
There are teacups, bowls, figurines, small animals.
Zayne points to the display case beside him.
With plenty of good examples around us, they'll be easy to make. Or are you thinking about doing something more challenging?
I want to make one that stands out.
Something simple would be safer for our first attempt. How does a pair of teacups sound?
After watching a short tutorial from the teacher, Zayne and I start to get the hang of it. He's very focused on the clay in front of him as he molds it. You're a quick learner.
Making pottery and performing surgery are similar.
How so?
First, a lot of patience is required. Second, they also need you to be good at timing. The third similarity.
Zayne points at the lamp of clay in my hand, which I rolled into a ball. But I accidentally flattened it again.
Even the slightest change in pressure can affect everything.
You're skilled at making things with your evol. The same can be said with how you make pottery. Copying Zayne's technique, I quickly managed to create a small, delicate teacup. It's not bad for my first attempt.
Indeed, it's good.
Zayne places the finished products we made side by side. He takes a moment to examine them.
They're lacking something.
Wait, let me guess what you think is missing.
All right. We can put our report to the test and see if it's grown these past few days.
They need a special mark to show they're ours. Zayne remains silent. He smiles and then takes my hand. He presses my thumb on the bottom of one of the cups. He shifts his thumb and pressed it over my thumbprint. The two marks now look like a tiny heart.
Didn't you want it to stand out? Nothing is more unique than fingerprints.
Zayne touches the cup and caresses the thumbprints that look like a heart.
They're unlike any pottery in the world now.
Night gradually graces the city, and I get off work early. I decided to head straight to Axo Hospital to give Zayne a surprise. But it's not until the street lights dim that I see him leave the building.
When did you get here? You could have sent a text.
It's okay. I was watching people in the garden.
What did you see?
Nothing much. I just wished I'd always be healthy and never have to go to the hospital.
In that case, you'll need to follow your doctor's orders. Let's go. I'll take you home.
We head into the parking lot, and the moonlight shimmers like water. I skip and step on the moon silhouette. Seeing how Zayne is unfazed and lagging behind, I'm suddenly in the mood to scare him. I pretend to slip and start to fall to the side. Zayne quickly reacts, immediately pulling me into his arms.
That was a rather poor attempt at acting. How does a hunter trip on level ground?
There's no one else here, so I'm not in a rush to leave his embrace. Instead, I lift my head and quietly look into his eyes. Dr. Zayne, the moon is beautiful tonight. I wrap my arms around his neck. As we lean in.
Whose heart is racing right now?
The Wanderer suddenly appears. Despite the interruption, Zayne and I quickly react. We attack at the same time, perfectly in sync. Heartbreaker's attention stays on us this time. Crying, it disappears shortly after. We finally got rid of it. Doesn't this mean our relationship has improved?
Your plan was effective, yes. However, our mission of mutual exploration isn't over.
You still remember that?
I've always been proud of my memory.
Zayne takes my hand and pulls me to his side.
The moon is beautiful tonight, but we should be heading back now.